What up, everyone? Welcome to the Undialed podcast. This is the third episode on the UndialedTV channel. Today, we have a really awesome guest with us today. His name is Seth. So, Seth, tell us a little bit about you. I feel like we've had conversations in passing and at skate parks and stuff and things before, but I feel like we've never really sat down and had a good conversation. So tell me your full name and like where you're from.
All right. My full name is Seth Laughlin. I'm from Roseburg, Oregon. And man, I've been riding scooters for over 7 years now. And yeah.
Awesome. So you're from Oregon. Tell me a little bit about like the scooter scene up there.
The scooter scene in Oregon is actually, it's okay. California, Arizona, Washington, those states that are along the line up and below us.
Yeah.
Definitely have it more.
How so? Describe more.
It's just like I make Seattle trips. I make Arizona trips. I'm down here. Also California as well.
Yeah.
And they're all just so much more poppin' than Oregon. And like Oregon definitely has a scene. Just definitely not as much as our neighboring states.
You mean just not as many overall riders?
Yeah, correct.
Got it. I feel like the scooter scene in Oregon is really good. I know Elliot Arnold just moved up there, and my friend Wyatt lives up there, and it looks like a really cool scene with like a really like unique skate parks and spots. Yeah. Like Battleground Skate Park is there, right?
Battleground is actually in Washington.
Okay, my bad.
Super sick skate park though, but it's not that far from Oregon. It's literally straight over the border.
Got you.
Like 30 minutes away from Portland. So,
got you.
Yeah.
Do you live near Portland?
I do not. I live on I-5, which is where Portland is located. I'm about 3 hours south.
Got you.
Born and raised in Roseburg, and I've lived pretty much a lot of places in Oregon, but.
How close do you live to like Bend? Because I know Jake Clark lives there, Matt Elston.
Yep. So that's about 3 hours from home.
Really?
Yeah. I make the trip willingly though.
Really?
It's a fun time. Yeah.
Did you get to grow up riding with like Jake Clark and
No, and I'm bummed. So Jake Clark, if you see this, I know we're hanging out more these days, but man, I wish we rode when I was younger.
Did you ever ride Truck Stop?
No, never.
No, what?
Yeah, never. I got into scooters about 2012.
Gotcha.
So,
what was the scooter scene like when you first got into it? Tell me like what was the iconic thing at the time that you remember from your memory? Like maybe just the thing that you remember from that time. I'll see if I can remember.
It was mainly videos.
Yeah?
Yeah, like
which videos?
Coda
videos.
Coda, Lucky, like the Lucky Team video.
Got you.
That
the
one
Opus
hit hard.
What was it, the Opus teaser? Beating like a hammer.
I don't know.
Like, you know the song? My heart's beating like a hammer. And it's like James G like 720ing flat, but they like cut it right before he like jumps and right before he lands. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
What?
No, I don't believe I've seen that one.
That teaser was so good.
Dude.
I remember Lucky Scooters was doing like custom builds before like anybody.
Before anyone.
But it was all just Lucky parts, but it was still like.
It's still a custom though.
Yeah.
And that's what made it sick too.
Yeah. Damn. So is there any indoors in Oregon right now?
So there's Wendell's, which is near like Mount Hood,
Isn't that
which
like
is like 40 minutes out of Portland.
Isn't that like a camp though? Isn't that
Camp,
kind of like Woodward?
and that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Is that it's no longer public, so they changed owners, so now it's not even open for us to just go out and ride for $20. You literally have to either buy it out for the whole day with a bunch of homies and split it.
Damn.
You know,
How expensive is that?
if you get enough homies, you can make it $20.
True.
But you know, you got to get enough homies.
Damn.
So Wendell's, there's Stronger Skate Park, which is public. Not trying to bash on that too hard, but it's not good. Way too small. D Block is now gone. Truck Stop gone. So
What about was Skate Barn in Oregon or is that in Washington?
I don't know.
I remember I know
Skate Barn.
You ever heard of Skate Barn?
Mm-mm.
It was this. You know when Zig Short tried the bar spin off that roll in and broke his fork and like face planted?
Yeah, that was not in Oregon.
That wasn't in Oregon?
Probably Washington.
That was probably Washington.
Washington has more skate parks. I mean, okay, I take that back. We have a ton of skate parks.
Yeah.
But they're not all like your parks. Like the scene out in Oregon, don't get me wrong. Oregon scooter scene, no matter how, like it's small compared to other places.
Yeah.
It's badass.
It's sick.
It's sick as hell.
Is it a tight-knit little community?
We're not super tight, but like when we do have events, they definitely like people come, we meet up and we love it. Oregon breeds such different types of riders.
Mm-hmm.
Like
style is so prevalent amongst the Oregon riders.
Right. Because there's not like, it's so hard to find a good box jump. You know what I mean? Like us, because
isn't Muck Skate Park, is that in Oregon or is that in Washington?
That's Washington.
I get those two states like mixed up.
Man. I know.
It's just the Northwest is just a state.
They're so close. Like literally the only thing that separates the two is the Columbia River.
Yeah.
And once you're at the Columbia River, you just look over and it's like, oh, there's Washington right there.
Got you.
It's close. It looks the same. Trees, mountains.
So there's just not a lot of skate parks there with box jumps and like park style features.
Totally different types of skate parks.
I can 100% relate with that because I feel like one reason that I'm like a street rider per se, like I like to consider myself like an all around scooter rider. I feel like if I counted up the amount of hours that I've ridden in my life, I think that I would be at a skate park most of the time. Like all of the hours I've ever scootered ever, I think majority of those hours would be in a park. Like just thinking about, and it's like it's like for me when I was growing up, all the parks around me were like street style parks. Like the ramps would be really funky, but the rails would be really nice.
Right.
And the ledges would be really nice, but like the banks and the hips were just like not ideal for really propelling you in the air. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so the reason I feel like the reason that I'm so like focused on grinds and manuals and all of that stuff is really to my roots of scootering and the skate parks that I grew up around when I was like a kid. I think it's so interesting to think about like if you think about any rider style in general and you relate their best tricks to the features that are at their local skate park when they started riding, it almost tells you a story about how they ride. And the greatest example I can think about that is like Ryan Williams, for example. It's like, think about Calandra Skate Park.
That being your local?
It's like, you've never been there before, right?
I have not.
Okay.
No.
I've been there before, fortunately, which was such a blessing. But like, when I went there, I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense why he is such a dominant park scooter rider. It's like, these hips here are perfect. The spines are here perfect. Like all the quarter pipes here are perfect. Perfect. And it's like the thing that kind of lacks at the skate park is like the rails and the ledges. And it's like no wonder, I think about Clayton's riding and the way that he scooters. And it's like if you go to his local skate park, there's a really, really great spot to do like can plants, for example. There's this like part where you can like go on top of a full pipe and there's this really good spot for can plants. And it's like no wonder he's good at can plants. There's another spot where it's like where there's like a bank to bank and it's like he's really good at bank to bank tricks and it's like no wonder, it's like if you think about all the little features at the local skate parks, it's like that's what the riders get good at. And I think about it now for myself and it's like
I've never thought about that in that perspective.
I was like one thing that I feel like I'm really good at is like rails, like rectangularly shaped rails. But I think about to my local skate park and it's like, well, no shit. It's like, no shit, I'm good at it. It's like that's what was really good at my local, and I don't know. It's just so interesting to think about it like that.
Very much so.
Do you think there's any obstacles at like your local skate park that has really influenced like a trick in your trick book?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like,
what specifically? I'm curious.
Because my park was pretty rounded out. Yeah. I have like a pretty big quarter pipe, and then it goes into like a rolling, and then a small quarter pipe. There's pyramid, like a small box jump, but it's like a quarter flat, and then a bank. Mm-hmm. Super nice bowl, dude. Really, now that like you talking about that, Roseburg Skate Park. I was born and raised there. Yeah. Okay, I didn't move out till I was 18, which is when I moved to Portland. Yeah. I tried Portland out for 6 months. But it's just, the Roseburg Skate Park defines my riding, like after the way that you described it, that makes total sense to me.
And it's almost like, I think it goes a little bit deeper than that too. It's like, what obstacles do you prefer? It's like, if you think about the ledges at your local, if you think about, are the ledges at your local, like, are they concrete edge? Are they like circle coping edge? Are they square coping edge? Are they like what kind of ledges are they?
We don't have a good ledge.
No good ledges.
The only good ledge is on top of the second pyramid, which is a slightly bigger pyramid. So it's a pyramid with a box on top, and it's just straight angle iron coping.
And do you prefer that now? Or is there like a ledge that you did grow up on that you like learned a lot of tricks on?
I tell you what, because when was this? I don't even know. A couple years ago, we had this. Me and my best friend Justin had this like inside compound.
Yeah.
Okay, we had someone that lent us ramps from the old skate church.
That's sick.
And we had someone let us put it under their building, and we would ride that in the winter. Because wintertime you cannot ride. You can ride like maybe 2 weeks out of the winter.
Describe the weather to me. Is it always raining?
It's just straight up half the year it's raining, half the year it's sunshine. And I'd say,
sometimes rain.
I'd say even more. It's probably like 60-40%. Yeah.
Has there ever been like a week where it literally did not stop raining? Like 24 hours a day?
Try 3.
3 weeks? No way.
I'm not joking.
Is it hard rain?
It's just like you literally simply cannot go out and ride because it's wet outside.
That's a bummer.
3 weeks of no riding. Or because it's frozen, it's freezing. Like winter gets pretty gnarly, especially in Bend, like Jake and Matt, they got it bad. I mean, and my teammates Mike and Trevin and Corey and all those boys, they got it bad up there.
Do you know what that just reminded me of is this scooter scene in the world that I feel like is so unique. I don't know if you've ever like paid any attention to this, and this is such a fascinating like little niche in scootering that I don't know. I think about it sometimes. But basically, it's the riders from Finland. And if you ever think about, like, the riders from Finland, like, it is really, really, really cold there, like 9 to 10 months out of the year. It's really, really, really cold. So, so they have trained themselves to ride, and, like, we'll put this in degrees. They've trained to ride themselves. They've trained to ride in, like, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, like, at a skate park when there's, like, patches of ice on the ground that they have to avoid, like puddles. And
Burr.
I remember Clayton and I, we were on our European trip, and we were in Finland, and we met up with this guy named Santori, and he's one of my old teammates on district. And whenever I go to Finland, I always try to link up with him. I usually stay at his house, and he picked us up from our ferry, and we immediately went to a skate park. And it is the coldest session I have ever ridden, like in my entire life. It was so cold. It was a joke because like you couldn't stop riding, because the second you stopped riding, you were so cold. But the weirdest part about that entire session was the skate park was packed with like little kids. It wasn't just like just a few homies at the skate park for this like really weird cold session. No, it was like a normal day at the skate park. I had a long sleeve on, a sweatshirt, and a winter like jacket, like a snow jacket. And these Finnish fools
or I'm like shirtless
are literally in like a long sleeve or just a sweatshirt, no gloves, like working on technical tricks, including bar spins.
That's and what I'm like, just about to ask.
And I'm like,
oh my gosh,
like, dude, what the hell? Like, this is so gnarly. And then their Scoot Vest videos just came out, right? The whole Finland team. I'm from the USA. I love the USA, but I think the Finland team, like for being as small of a community, because I feel like it's so interesting. It's like USA. It's like the captain of the Team USA had the opportunity to cherry pick riders from different like little communities around the United States. But I feel like in the Finland one, since Finland's kind of a small country,
and there's
it is the group of riders. You know what I mean? They have to put on for Scoot Vest, right? So they had to film.
Pretty sick.
They had to film the Scoot Fest video in like this. They filmed it like I think like a week or 2 weeks ago. And if for anyone watching this later on, it's winter time or it's entering winter time. So they filmed these Scoot Fest videos in freezing cold conditions. And if you go back and watch their videos, Nikolai literally whip front 50'd a double kink handrail. And it was probably like freezing degrees outside. And it's just like,
imagine all the times you eat shit.
Dude, they eat shit. Dude, they literally eat shit when it's so cold. And I'm like, you guys are nuts. Like you guys are so insane. I don't know.
All your fingers just break off because they're already frozen solid.
It just makes me feel like I have no excuses. Like if these Finnish guys can be like significantly better at riding than me, and they're doing it in the insane freezing cold, it's like whoa.
No thanks. I mean, yeah, it gets cold in Oregon, and I have ridden in snow and have had to move snow to ride.
Yeah,
but probably not nearly as cold as Finland.
Yeah, there's this one photo of Elmery. He hit a 30 stair wooden handrail in the rain. It was like on a V2i.
What?
On a V2i.
How many stairs?
30.
A 30
wooden
stair
a wooden handrail on a 30 stair in the rain on a V2i.
That's a no for me.
No. He did that like 5-6 years ago. Like,
use the rain as wax.
Hey Clayton, can you find the photo of Elmery doing the board slide in the rain?
Yeah, I can.
On the 30 stair. I don't know, that's always stood out in my mind. It's just like,
I've never seen that.
yo, there's stupid scooter tricks, but then there's real stupid scooter tricks.
Okay, grinding a wooden handrail, let alone 30 stairs of wood.
And it's raining.
And yeah, you land. No, that doesn't make any sense to me.
So you talking about all this raining, you know what I'm trying to say?
That better win photo of the year.
That is a wooden handrail he's hit, but that's not the one I'm thinking about. There's this photo of him that he's just like perfectly in board slide down like a gnarly rail.
Because the only
I mean,
ones
at
can
least
find
he's
is
doing
just,
a board slide.
It's just board sliding this like fat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like 10 block. That might be it. Oh, is that wooden? I can't tell.
Let me see the photo. Yeah, that's it.
No way.
I'll try to pull it up for people really quick.
And that is Helmet. Wait, who's this?
Elmery.
Elmer, yeah. With his white hair. Dude, that dude killed it.
He should have been
Hold on, people. I'm
You're telling me this is wooden?
Yeah. It's either I might have botched it on the wood. It's either wood or aluminum. I just know the grinding surface, whatever it is not
steel.
It's not steel.
It won't let me put.
Holy crap! Even if he hit that other one,
There we go.
That Clayton showed.
Yeah, no, he has hit wood handrail. That's not a lie.
I mean, I've seen people I've seen Barrett. I was out at Woodward, PA for 3 weeks. 2019 summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 summer.
Clayton.
Fun time.
Destroys
very fun
the
time.
keyboard.
But
Tell me about that.
literally the last week, Barrett from here in Arizona, I was watching him freaking try to hit a wooden rail
At Woodward?
at Woodward.
Where?
Like, where the workers stay when they're not doing cabin stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Right there.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking
entryway
about.
right
I know
there.
what you're talking about now. That's stupid.
Stupid. I was like, why are you trying to... That was like my first experience of seeing someone trying to grind a wooden handrail. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, very cool because it's different. And I love different.
True. Okay, I want you to tell me about something, and I feel like this is something that doesn't really get talked about a lot in scootering. And maybe you can relate with this. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's hear it.
But have you ever, like, speaking of texture of handrails, have you ever noticed that for whatever reason, it's like way more intimidating. It's way more intimidating to hit a street handrail versus a park handrail, even if the two are the exact same rail, the exact same material, the exact same everything, why is it so much scarier to hit the
No
street
doubt.
rail? But why?
There's so many more like obstacles you can run into. Like there's so many more variables.
But let's just think in a hypothetical situation.
Everything's the same.
Everything's the same.
Except it's in the streets.
But you know it'd be more scary. But why? I have a few theories. I think the first one that might be it is the fact when you're riding like a skate park handrail, you have the skate park to warm up at. And then by the time that you go to hit the handrail, you're like focused and you're like warmed up on your scooter.
True.
But when you go to a street spot and you just go and hit a handrail, it's like warm up trick, do a couple tailwhips flat, like, and then just like straight to the rail. You know what I mean?
That's why I try to warm up, like at least at even like a littler spot.
Yeah.
I have a friend that just goes straight into it. He says he doesn't like warm up. He'd rather just do it. And I'm like, dude, I would die. I literally I feel like if I'm not warmed up enough, I can't even hop as high.
Yeah.
Straight up. I definitely prefer to get some warm up before I go out in the streets.
Yeah.
But and what you're saying, it would be scarier.
Do you think that?
But it's just something you got to get over.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time that you went at like a street handrail and when you were rolling up to it, you didn't have any sort of escape plan? All you had was, I have to land this trick or get to the bottom of the stairs. And like facing that mental battle, do you have like an instance like that?
Yeah.
Can you tell me in detail about that instance? Like what your emotions were, what it meant for you to like.
I could go so deep into this.
I want to go as deep as you can into it.
I can go so deep with this.
Because I feel like this is something scooter riders never talk about.
This is literally, okay. I've hit multiple park down rails.
Yeah.
Okay. Multiple. Never hit a rail with a kink at the end. Like, just a little.
Yeah.
Call them dicks.
Yeah, the dick rails. Yeah.
Dicks. Ones with the kinks at the end. It was 11 stair, and I was like, okay. I literally hit down rails all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
I love rails. But
Same.
okay. This one was just, I don't know. It's a whole mental battle that you have to go through. I literally I first showed up to the spot like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, walk me through walk me through like the process.
Yeah. So we literally show up to the spot. There's more spots around, but there's a car parked right in front of the rail.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you got to be joking me, right? But kind of like on the inside, I'm kind of like, yes.
Yeah, I totally know.
I don't have to do it.
Yeah, I totally
Okay?
feel you.
So anyways, I'm like, yeah, I was hyped. I was ready.
You're like, this is my chance where I could like totally not look like a pussy right now because of the car. Oh, the car.
Yeah. So we go out and hit other spots. And it's like coming towards the end of the day and we wrap back around by the rail. No car.
No car.
Everyone's like, you have to do it. This is like the one you wanted to do today. I said, it's kind of getting dark.
But you
just kind of beat around the bush a little bit.
You've already
everyone's
mentioned.
like, no, we have time. Tommy, my filmer, was like, I don't care if we drive late. You have to get this done.
You've already like meant to prepare that day. Like, oh, I don't have to hit it. Like, oh, the day is so much more chill. Like,
no, I knew it was going to open up. I knew it. Just had a feeling. So, anyways.
All right, so tell me from when filmer looks you in the eyes and says, I don't care if we drive home late. What happens right after that?
Okay, all right, let's freaking get up and try this handrail. And I was sitting up there for like 20 minutes. Literally like before I even started to like even chink the rail.
Yeah.
It was literally just so many run-ups. And I was like, you know what? I don't care how many run-ups I do today. Because like I normally give myself this thing, like if it's a trick that absolutely scares the living crap out of me, I will give myself 2 run-ups, send it on the 3rd go.
Mm-hmm.
Have to. But this one I was like, I don't care how many run-ups this takes.
Oh yeah,
I
dude.
have to do this one. And kept going up it. Oh, psyching myself out, just looking like down at the stairs, like, dude, I'm gonna roll my ankle. I'm gonna nut myself on this rail or something. Just every bad
die.
thought is
I'm gonna die.
flowing through your head. And like, because this is also something that I wanted for so long. Too.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I got to stop being a pussy. Like,
For real.
This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Like, I'm not leaving until I get this. And then I was like, fine. So I just like started working my way up to it. Like, I don't even care. Just pushing it, just like jumping on, like tinking my deck, just like hopping on,
Dude,
tinking my
it's
deck,
like-
getting
it's-
on a little more.
It's so crazy. Like, no matter how many skate park rails you ride and you get used to how a grind feels, it's like the first
It's
time when you go to a
totally
street rail,
different.
when you go to a street rail, it's just like, I don't know if this slides. I have to test it from each step.
And that goes back to what you were saying. If it's the slide, okay, even if it's the same rail
Yeah.
in the street and in the skate park, identical in a hypothetical situation, it is whether it slides or not.
Mm-hmm.
We know most of the time a skate park rail is going to slide.
Exactly, but you don't know what the street
But you
rail.
don't know if the street rail is going to slide
Yeah,
because
dude.
no one hits it.
Yeah, or if they do hit it, it's like, when's the last time it was hit? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You know, and you don't want to wax it up too much because then you freaking loop out on a rail
For real.
straight to your gonads.
Yeah.
Fun.
So tell me what happened as soon as you were like, you went from like hopping on the rail and like kind of one foot in it.
Literally just like started working my way more on it.
And how big was this rail?
So this was an 11 stair.
Got you. Okay.
Pretty mellow stairs. Like a good one to start off with. One with the little kink at the end.
But if it's mellow, that's not that hard to deal with.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely a good one to start out on. But like, because I've hit multiple street rails before that, but I've never hit like a legitimate street down rail. Like I'm talking about like my first legitimately street down rail with a little kink at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, just started working my way up more onto it, and eventually I got up onto it, and then like jumped off before the kink, and I was like, nope, I'm getting this on lock.
You're like, I'm going through
Boom,
this.
straight through the kink. I said, I'm doing this again. Boom, straight through the kink. Said, I'm doing this again. Boom, straight through the kink. Said, I'm doing this again. Boom, straight through the kink. Got it.
Fuck yeah.
I said, I'm not letting this go. If I was this has been a fear of mine forever.
Yeah, dude.
I am overcoming it. I legit hit that rail 4 times that day.
That's so sick, dude. I remember like, oh, and then just the feeling when you land. Isn't it always crazy to you how fast fear can change into excitement?
With the snap of a
With
finger.
a snap of a finger, dude. It's just like all of that anxiety just flips.
Boom. Yeah. Dude, I screamed so loud. I'm a pretty loud person as is.
I think one of my favorite things about like running the Undialed repost page and seeing so many Instagram videos of so many scooter riders is like watching the
hype.
reactions. Because
The
it's
hype.
like, I know Clayton and I literally post videos on Undialed if the person's facial reaction at the end is like funny or like cool. Like that's just in itself. And those videos always do like really good compared to like for example, it's like if somebody landed a bri flip flat and it was just like
And lands it and
bri
just
flip.
goes like this, straight face.
But yeah, exactly. That video's gonna do all right. But like if somebody does a bri flip, lands it, and they're like, ah! it's like that video.
Yeah.
It's like, and then it makes me wonder. It's like, are people watching scooter videos for the scooter tricks, or are they watching it for like the reaction of the person once they land the scooter tricks? You know,
Or you're just watching it to watch it.
you could just be doing that.
Just seamlessly strolling through Instagram.
But wouldn't you say that like an edit is so much more enjoyable to
So
watch
much more.
if you could see the person and the excitement when they land the tricks? Like I'm sure you've seen skate parts, BMX parts, scooter parts where like
Emotion goes a long way.
yeah.
And that's one thing, because I'm this close, to having my video part done.
Yeah?
Keep an eye out. It'll be popping up on the SoFlo channel,
Nice.
SoFlo Pro Scooters. But yeah, it's my welcome to pro.
Tell me about the process of that. Like of creating your, because is this
I
like
love it.
is this like your first edit? Your
No,
first
this will be number 2.
this will be
So
number, do you
I have one out back in 2015.
No, but like what I'm trying to say is like, this is your first like edit that you've like put a lot into,
Yes.
and it's like more of the modern like
Yes.
version of yourself. You know what I'm trying to say?
But yes, no doubt. Because
Yeah.
the first one
Because-
was back in 2015. Little park kid wearing knee pads.
Yeah.
You know, definitely have came a long way since 2015.
So tell me about it. Like what inspired you to want to film and edit? Like,
As soon as we got that HMC 150, baby.
but what sparked you to even want to get the HMC?
So, gosh.
Tell me about like the root of.
I don't even remember. I was, Kobe Brucken. I don't know if you know him.
I don't.
He rides for SoFlo as well.
Is he Oregon?
Oregon.
Nice.
Yep. Living up in Springfield at the moment. He's lived a bunch of places up there as well. But me and him were working together at SoFlo and roommates as well.
Yeah.
When I was living up there for a year. Great dude. Love you, Kobe. But where was I getting at?
We're just talking about your edit, the process of.
He was just like, let's get an HMC 150.
Yeah.
So many people have them.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I just found one on Deathlands Fisheye Sales on Instagram.
Really?
$750.
That's
Like,
good.
Let's get it. Owner of SoFlo bought it. It is the SoFlo camera.
That's
and
sick.
I am filming 12 edits. Filming and editing 12 edits.
Wow. So
like,
is this going to be
of our
like a full length?
No.
No,
So-
or the
so
12 edits are going to be individuals?
So, all individual. Full length is my plan for when those are all done.
Got
I
you.
want to do like a team video.
Got you.
Gosh, that's next project.
So you said you're almost done with your video. What
Very
else do you
close.
still need to have for your video?
My banger,
Your banger?
which was gonna be in Oregon, but I might be moving down here. I don't know.
If it's in Oregon and you're moving here, you better get it. You better get it soon.
But I could always change it.
True.
So I literally need my banger and like 2 fillers.
What kind of banger do you want for your edit? Do you want it to be a hammer, or like a tech thing? So basically, what I mean is
More
like
hammer.
Do you want it to be very risky but potentially an easier trick, but it's risky, Or do you want it to be a really, really, really hard trick that's technically really hard, but it's not as risky? It's a really hard trick.
Kind of a mix of both.
Mix
It's
of
more
both? Ooh,
of,
okay.
More of.
Hard trick, hard spot.
How do I say this without giving it away? Big grind,
Big
technical
grind.
trick. Out.
Okay. Well, I'm
That
stoked.
was my.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked to watch it. Has there been any part of filming the edit that has been like more challenging for you than you initially thought it was going to be?
Just filming it in general.
How
Because
so?
I'm normally the filmer.
Yeah.
Because I like, besides scootering, I love to film
Okay.
and take pictures. Like that is my second favorite thing.
Yeah.
And camping.
You look like a camping man.
Oregon, man. I love it so much. But yeah, really just getting out, like, because, having someone to film me
Yeah.
and I want it filmed
Who
a
is your
certain
filmer?
way. So I have a lot of people filming my edit for me, but the main person I have filming for me is Thomas Noel,
Gotcha.
longtime friend from hometown,
Nice.
rides BMX.
Does
Great,
he film,
great
does he film with his
filmer.
bike?
No.
No.
I mean, yeah, he has before. Definitely has before.
That's
He's got a
pretty sick.
filmer board. Dude has the most stable hand
Really?
I've ever seen. Period.
That's what you need.
Dude, he's great.
That's
Beautiful.
sick.
Yeah. I could trust him to film my stuff, like for when I land the trick, that it comes out good.
Facts.
Not when I land it. That's not how I wanted it.
Yeah,
You
no.
have to redo it.
I definitely have filmed with people in
and
the past where
you
it's
know,
like,
and it is. I understand. It is hard to film because it's like scootering. You have to learn how to do it. It takes practice. The
I
more you
believe
do it,
half
the
of
better you get.
I believe half of a clip is the filming. Like the filming,
Yeah.
the filming makes or breaks the clip.
100%. Because I'm sorry, but there are recent video parts that have released, and the filming was so bad.
Tricks were great.
I stopped watching the video.
Tricks were great.
Tricks were awesome,
Yeah.
but it just so shaky. Not about the shake.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of difficult as well for scooter riders to like I was thinking about it and it's like to learn how to film and skate is definitely a lot easier than to learn how to film on a scooter just
I
because
film on a scooter.
No, I do too. But what I'm trying to say is like you have to be able to ride your scooter with one hand, either hand. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like some in some positions you're gonna have to ride. You're gonna have to ride with your right hand on the bars, left hand on the camera, and then other situations you're gonna have to ride left hand on the scooter.
Yeah.
Depending on if they're goofy or regular. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like that's like,
dude, that's why I want to get good at rollerblading. Dude, imagine the shots you could get rollerblading.
Have you ever seen the old Ethic videos? Like their Ethic China video, their Ethic Australia video?
Yes.
You remember the filming in that? How epic it was?
So
because they had a rollerblader.
They did have a rollerblader.
They did.
You can if you can master rollerblading and filming together, you can be the best filmer for park action sports.
I always think it's like nuts to see like in X Games they have like professional skiers or like ski filmers, and basically they like follow the snowboarders and skiers like
right on their tail
over the jumps.
Yeah,
with
over the
a
jumps.
camera.
Yeah,
like what?
Legit.
That's so nuts.
Legit.
That's so nuts.
And like
imagine trying to hit jumps while you're filming somebody on your scooter
while trying to make it smooth.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't. I could with practice.
Imagine hitting a box jump with another scooter rider, but you're like just filming in the air.
No way. Dude, I almost eat it freaking dropping into a ramp too big.
Just like, woo.
Just
you're like looking at
boom.
You're looking at the viewfinder as they're like doing a flip.
No, thanks. Chill on that. Rollerblades? Totally. You could drop right in, flow over the jumps with them, and you're right on their tail.
I feel like once you get good enough at rollerblading too, it's easier than walking. Like it must be. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I hop on my scooter now and no matter what state I'm in, I can scooter. You know what I'm trying to say? I can tail whip, I can bar spin. Like those are so fundamentally rooted into me. And
yeah, you'll probably never lose that.
But it's like, think about if I had all of those hours put into rollerblading, it would definitely be easier than walking, for sure.
Totally.
And it's like I feel like for those filmers, it's like going over those jumps and everything. Like they're so much more concerned about their SD card filling up than whether or not they're going to make it over the jump. You know what I mean? Like that's where their priorities are at.
Dude, rollerblading is sick. I think any action sport is sick if you can do sick stuff.
Okay, let me ask you an interesting question. Why do you think rollerblading is not a prominent action sports these days? What's your opinion of that situation? Because at one point there was a lot of hype behind it, and now it's not as much hype.
Right. It definitely still has a scene. I don't know. Scooters are definitely
We're not there yet. I just
the
just
thing
about
of the
rollerblading.
century. For rollerblading,
Like, what do you think the downfall was caused about? Like, why do you think?
I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. Something new came in.
I personally think they ran out of tricks.
Ran out of tricks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think about it. No, think about it. It's like, what can you do on rollerblades other than grabs and grinds?
True.
And spins and flips.
But there's style involved.
There's a lot of style involved. But I feel like what happened is like rollerbladers got to the point where it was like all the low-hanging fruit tricks kind of got, like, they all got done. All of them. You know what I mean? And then like what the trend was in rollerblading was like bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, who's going to do the biggest handrail? Who's going to jump down the biggest thing? And it finally got to the point where like all of those low-hanging fruit tricks had been done down absolutely like insane features. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, if anyone wanted to get into rollerblading and really make a name for themselves, they would have to pick up where those rollerbladers left off, and where they left off was like gnarly. and I feel like it's a lot different than like skateboarding or biking or scootering, because it's like we have an object, you know what I mean?
Right.
That we manipulate, that does tricks for us, you know? And I feel like with rollerblading, it's just you.
Right. And I think that's why maybe that is why.
Maybe that is. I think that's a factor. I don't think that's the
yeah,
reason.
definitely not the main reason, but definitely could be a factor. Rollerblading. There's, in my opinion, just like skateboard, scooter, BMX, like you said, object. There's something you could like. Yes, you could do so much more with those things, and maybe that is why that rollerblading is kind of taking a downfall, because there's other things that you could pick up that are action sports.
But you got to think about the economy of the sport as well. It's like in skateboarding, it's like they're buying the object. The object cost $150 for a brand new skateboard, top of the line. And it's like you have to buy then shoes, $80 for a brand new pair of like Nikes, you know? And it's like you have those objects, and it's like, but in rollerblading, it's like you have your boot and you have your wheels. And it's like, how are companies supposed to make a lot of money within the rollerblading scene? Like you get to a point where you have your pair of boots you like. What are you gonna buy? Just new wheels? Like,
I don't know. Ask Andy.
You know, and so that's the other funny thing is like then basically Sunshine Distribution, the same people at ONAO, like they became like the brand leader. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they became like the main distributor of pretty much all the rollerblade brands. And
yeah.
and I think that was,
especially here in the USA.
and I think that the only reason they were able to do that is because there's not a lot of things that they sell for rollerblading. You know what I mean? Like what is there? And I'm really not trying to be ignorant.
Yeah, there's boot. There's 3 parts really, I think.
And then besides from that, it's like hats, shirts, like everything else that all the action sports have as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to, like apparel. It's like I feel like there wasn't enough opportunity for like money within the industry. And as much as I feel like people don't like saying that industries need money to survive, it's like here's the thing. Money is the gasoline. I believe that
Fuel to the fire.
I believe that the riders themselves are the vehicles for the sport. But in order for the vehicles of the sport to be driven anywhere, the vehicles of the sport need money.
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like
no doubt.
For you to come to Arizona, you had to use money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like as much as people like
I'm broke.
As much we all are. We're all scooter riders. But it's like as much as people don't like to like bring money into like an industry, or like don't like to talk about like this is a passion industry. This is all passion based. Like, yes, it is passion
Totally.
based. It is. But it's like we also
It
like
is.
that need money to survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're all gonna have to adult at some time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever adulting, which means in quotation marks, get a real job, as my parents would say.
No.
9
I'm
to
adulting
5.
right now. Come on. I'm adulting.
I'm
Claims
just saying,
adulting.
you know, like I want to keep pushing my scootering as far as I can, but you can't do that when you're working a full-time job.
Can't.
You simply cannot.
Do you work a full-time job?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm going to have to.
Why?
I'm broke.
I mean, I'm broke too. You just gotta like. I feel like. Do you want to work within the scootering industry?
I would love to. That my goal is to stay within the scooter industry for as long as I can.
So I'm
Rider first, whatever second.
So I'm gonna tell you something, and this is something that I believe we're still in like a little golden era of within scootering. And for anyone watching this, any of you viewers, this is something that I'm so serious about. Is I believe scootering is still writing its history, its early history right now. I believe that like yes, we do have scootering history, we have OGs of the sport, but it's like we're still writing the baby steps of this industry.
It's still new.
It's still very new. And right now within scootering and also within social media, there's so many opportunities to create your own nook within your sport, within your industry. It's so possible for you to carve your own path to do exactly what you want to do. And finding the vision of what that path is going to be, finding out what specifically that nook is going to be for yourself, potentially might be difficult. But once you find that out and have the passion for it, we live in such a thriving community in a 21st century where like you can make your living just online. that like I believe that for you and for anyone watching this that's genuinely into scootering, I think it's so possible to make a living off of it. It's just gonna take sacrifice, self-discipline, and you're gonna really have to test yourself about how much you love scooters.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what
And
you mean.
It's like if you can go through the tests and the tribulations, it's like you can do it. Scootering,
Like I started my own business, kinda.
yeah.
Scooter lessons. I'm like the only one doing it in Oregon, and I'd make pretty decent money off of scooter lessons. And let me tell you, that is the best job ever. I get to scooter. I get to pass on what I've learned to the next generation. I get to help someone get better. Dude,
Why don't you take it one step farther then? Why don't you set up like a camp committee where basically instead of you teaching you the scooter lessons, you organize a group of kids that are also hungry to make money, that you trust, that are like a little bit older, and you organize something so that way when parents want to have a lesson with their kid, they hit up like your little company, and then basically the parent could tell you exactly what their kid wants to learn, and then you pick the rider out of your little roster of people that you know that could best suit that kid. And you basically could, because you're a collective little group, you'd be able to charge more for lessons because it would be like a little official thing.
Right.
And I feel like that's one thing within scootering that I really want kids to understand. Like I'm really trying to pound this into kids' head. It's like, yo, all the adults in scootering don't know what they're doing, like at all. And
We're just people.
we're just trying to figure this. So it's like, dude, just like create stuff, make little like teams, make little crews, make little make little businesses, and that'll like set you up for like future things.
Legit.
It's like me and Clayton make jokes all the time, and kids talk about like how official Undialed is and like how real Undialed is, and it's gotten to that point like people really believe in it, but it's like yo, this is just like the test run for me and Clayton. Like we're just totally trying to figure this out.
This is just two dudes running this. Some very cool dudes, to say the least.
At the end of the day,
Thank you, Seth.
at the end of the day, we are just running in the dark, blindly.
Business.
We got some strategy to what we're doing, but
No, you guys are doing all right. Let me tell you, you guys have put a big name for yourselves and Undialed.
but I feel like scootering is such a unique industry because there's so much opportunity because it is still so baby. And I think that whoever is in scootering right now and really truly does want to reap the rewards of this small industry when it does convert into a larger industry, if they want to be along for that, there is kids right now, maybe watching this, maybe not watching this, whether they know it or not, that are going to be a part of that movement, that are going to be critical people, that are going to move and push scootering to new heights. And it's like, those places have not been taken yet. Those places have not been filled yet. So it's like, I just want scooter riders to get hungry, because it's like, if we're all hungry and we're all looking to progress the sport farther, then it's going to get a little bit competitive. And when it gets a little bit competitive, then actions are going to happen.
Yeah, things start happening.
Yeah. It creates a healthy market.
True. Very true. And that's, yeah. I hope it stays healthy, because
But I almost feel like COVID is so interesting for scooters right now, because there's so many companies that are struggling, because it's like, yo, everyone has to stay inside of their house because of COVID. Yo, when you stay inside your house and you can't really scooter unless you have a big house, but like majority of people can't scooter inside of their house. Like it's just, you can't have like a real session inside of your house. Like,
not at all.
And it's like, I think it's almost so good in a way that this happened to the industry, because it's really testing the industry right now. It's really putting the industry through what it can take. And I think a lot of companies haven't survived through this, but I think that's all right. And I say that because I believe that in coming up to COVID, scootering was a little bit saturated with brands. It was a little bit too, there was too many small brands that were stepping on each other's toes, that were not bringing anything original to the table. And when I talk about that, I'm mostly talking about the manufacturers that made lower end completes and tie bars and just that whole little like market. And I feel like it's almost good that those companies have been hurting through this, because then they're going to lose interest, meaning that opportunities are going to start opening up for the brands that put money back into the sport.
Yeah,
yes. And that's so important. You know,
so important.
I feel like people compare scootering to skateboarding all of the time, but I don't think that they're comparable in any means. I think you're really comparing apples and oranges. And it's because it's like scootering is so unique, because it is 100% living off of itself. The only thing that's supporting scootering is scooters. The only thing that's supporting scooter competitions are scooter companies.
Yeah.
And it's like,
there's no big money into it.
If you look and we're doing it and we're surviving.
We're doing okay.
And no, but like we're thriving as a community. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, you look at skateboarding, who we get compared to. That's interesting. We get compared to them. You know, we get put on the same level as them, and it's just like, yo, you cannot compare us. It's
totally different.
And then it goes to an interesting question. Do you think skateboarding would be as self-sufficient as scootering if all the corporate brands pulled out of it and it was still just reliant on just the skate brands?
No.
And see, that's a funny dynamic. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, maybe. Because I'm more on the no side.
I think that there will always be people who skateboard, who love skateboarding, that skateboard because they genuinely love it and they don't give a fuck what the community is like. And I think that nothing would change for them. But I believe that there's a lot of people that skateboard that don't actually skateboard because they love it. And they only skateboard because they want to obtain the image of being a skateboarder, or being somebody who's cool. You know what I mean? And I feel like though that whole area of skateboarding would kind of go away. Yep. And what's funny is I feel like the only reason,
because it's cool.
And I feel like the only reason corporate companies are into skateboarding is because that's their market, is these people. Like, they're not really the dedicated hardcore skaters, maybe a little bit, but their real focus is on the people who are just trying to skate to be cool, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's just interesting, like the fact that scootering and skateboarding get compared so much, but like, they're they're not comparable at all. They're so different.
The two different objects, for one.
The other thing as well that's so interesting is like scootering is a direct result of social media.
Scootering was born into social media.
It was.
I did a college report on this.
It was literally born into social media, and it's like the first ever scooter video was published to the internet. It wasn't burned onto a VHS. It wasn't burned onto a DVD. No. It was recorded on a personal camera with an SD card that got uploaded to the internet.
So I'm saying it's new age.
And it's crazy because the internet has been exponentially growing, but so is the scooter community. It's almost followed the exact same path of just like whenever new features come out online, like let's just think about it for a second. Like there's a lot of hate about Instagram videos in scootering, and I get it. You know, it's not like when you sit down and you watch an Instagram video, you're obviously not as immersed in the video as an edit, obviously. But if we think about it, and it's like yo, like Instagram videos, like that was something that Instagram, some dude in the Bay Area was like, yo, like we're gonna start being allowed to upload videos that you record on your iPhone to Instagram. They're like, yeah. So then that function happened, and then that completely revolutionized the entire industry to the point that there's riders literally being sponsored because of this one little niche in this one little app.
Instagram.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
and it's like it's like every single way that technology shifts and grows, scootering is right there with it.
But it's not just scootering. Skating and BMX and mountain bike and all those action sports.
But the thing is
fell into it as well.
They've fallen into it, but there's still such a big emphasis on the skateboarding past.
Yes.
We don't have that past to fall back on.
Is the
you know
internet
what I mean?
On the internet.
It's like I don't really hang out with much older skateboarders, but I'm sure if you hang out with like old skateheads, all they talk about is like, oh, in the 80s, like it was so rad. You know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
the same exact way, like OGs of the sport. Oh, in 2010, you know, I miss hot
the
gluing
best.
wheels. It's like, do you miss hot gluing wheels? Do
No.
you? And I just I just
Definitely not.
I just the whole point of what I'm trying to say is like there's so much opportunity within scootering because it's so young and because it's literally following the trends of the internet, which I think is so exciting. People think it's detrimental, but no, it's so not.
And I got something to say about Instagram and YouTube
What?
between the two with
Tell me
scootering.
what you got.
My opinion. Okay, first off, I just want to say when my video part comes out, of course it's going up on YouTube.
Of course.
Going up on YouTube.
Why
and
YouTube? Why not Vimeo? Why YouTube for you?
Why not? Why not do? I might do Vimeo as well because I'm also posting it on IGTV, but that's after the fact.
Got you.
Like I'm gonna let it be up on the YouTube channel for like a month or two,
Yeah.
and then I'll post it up on IGTV. Why? Because I want as many people to see this video as possible. I did not work my butt off for nothing.
True.
I don't care what other people will say about, oh, you posted your edit on Instagram. Yeah, I don't care.
It's so interesting. I feel like I see this all the time. Like people get upset when people take like you got to think about it on the most basic level, right? It's like when you export your video in whatever editing software you have, Premiere, Final Cut, whatever you have.
Yep.
It's like when you export that, it's like it's a file that you drag into an internet browser, into an internet extension that then takes all of that information and puts it in a format that can be viewable. And that could be said exactly about Instagram or YouTube.
Vimeo.
And it's so funny that that there's this stigma between like, no, you have to view the changing pixels on this website, not on this website. And if you don't do it, if you don't view the pixels on,
Shame on you.
it's like you are detrimental to scootering.
Yeah. I mean, like, definitely, like, there, in my opinion, there is too many people posting on Instagram rather than focusing on filming an edit.
It
Like,
makes sense though.
You should do both.
You should, yeah.
And I know, and I do understand how hard it is to get a filmer to
Think
come
about getting
and film you.
something I think about a lot is like it's like you know why kids film Instagram videos so much more is because their parents buy them an iPhone. Their
Yeah.
parents are not going to buy them a video camera.
Right. Right. No doubt.
Yeah.
But, like, not trying to call you out, Jack Ward, half bars, but I would love to see a video part from him.
I would too.
He posts so many bangers on Instagram. I'm like, why is this on Instagram? I'm just like tripping out. I'm like, dude, you got to film a video part. I would love to see a video part from him. And if he's posting that stuff on Instagram and that's like him not even like trying.
Oh, he's trying.
He's definitely trying.
Yeah.
Definitely trying. But nah, either way, I'd love to see a video part from Jack Ward because all I've seen is Instagram edits.
But here's something interesting. Do you think if Jack Ward would have only focused on edits, all of his tricks he's done would only focused on edits, do you think he would have been prevalent enough in your mind for him to think of him right now? But do you think it's because of the Instagram videos that he is prevalent in your mind like that?
No, he is.
Because
no
of
doubt.
Instagram videos.
Because of Instagram videos.
So,
But that's what I'm saying.
In a
is
sense,
that
is
you
he
should
winning?
Focus. Depends on what you're after.
True. Very true. But maybe that's what he's after.
Just blowing up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be.
I mean,
Could be.
it's all the same.
I just think it's, I don't know. I'm just like
Yeah.
straight down the middle with park and, okay, park and street. I'm a scooter rider. I ride everything.
Everything.
Everything. Transition, rails, park, street, everything.
Yeah.
Straight down the middle. I want to have video parts. I want to have, like, my video part is literally straight down the middle. So half of it's filmed in skate parks. The other half's filmed in the streets.
That's sick.
I want it to be straight down the middle.
That's how
'Cause
my
that
welcome
is
to
how I am.
That's how my white trash really part was. It was half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like whoever bashes on that, oh, you can't do that. Like, dude, I'm gonna do what I want. And if it's different, cool. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would like to see video parts and banging Instagram posts.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely have not been trying extremely hard for Instagram. I just want to, I try hard for myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Try hard for myself,
Not
anyone else.
I like to use Instagram as kind of a place where I'm able to post like my new learns that I do at skate parks and stuff. Like I like to use Instagram in that sense, but there's definitely like a little list of tricks that I have pretty good that I won't do for Instagram, strictly because I don't want to blow those tricks out for edits.
Right.
And one of those tricks, for example, is front 50 rotor twist. I can do those on a lot of things. But I don't do them on Instagram. Like I just don't. And
right.
I have before.
Yeah.
If you want to go back and look at my post, you can find it.
Absolutely.
But I don't do that a lot because it's like when I did it in Washington for my What Will Do in Seattle. Have you seen that one?
I believe so.
It's the video of me and Will Judy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
so at the very end, I front 50 rotor twist.
I really like that video, by the way.
Thank you. And so when I did that, I was like, okay, like this is a trick that I've been saving that I need to like put down somewhere. And when I was finally able to do it on that spot, it felt so good because it was like, and it felt really good. It really felt good because it was like, damn, like when I released this, it's like I didn't post this a million times to Instagram, you know? It's like, this is going to be something fresh. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Very
like, even though there's so many instances I could have done it, I just chose not to. And I don't know. I feel like when people film edits, I think that they need to not necessarily put only like new learns and stuff inside of it. I think that new learns are good for Instagram, but I feel like they need to put the tricks that are really, really like mentally challenging. Because I feel like that's a whole dynamic to scootering is like the mental challenge.
Yeah. It's such a big part of riding.
It is.
Like getting over your fear. There's your fear of falling. It is a straight up mental battle.
I wish more park riders made edits.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean like not just like
it used to be.
Not day edits. Like park riders make edits, but they're always like day edits or like 3-day edits. I want to see like Ryan Williams. That's a really good example. He has this edit that he's worked on for like a long time.
Yeah, his web edits.
From a collection of skate parks. Every outfit in the video is different. Every scooter is different. You know what I mean? It's like you can tell that it was over a period of time.
Brandon Smith.
And it's like I just miss, like I really just wish that like current park riders would just make edits. Like you were talking about Jack Ward. I want to see a Jordan Clark edit.
Ideal park edit is Brandon Smith's. Just ham.
He single-handedly elevated scootering with those videos.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
And they were ridiculous because nothing was slow-mo and they were 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that's also insane. Okay, that's definitely not how I'm editing my video, but that's insane. No repeats.
No repeats in any of the videos.
No. Blows my mind. I
And
literally go back and watch them still to this day.
It was crazy.
I'm just like, this was like so many years ago.
And what's crazy is the tech things he did. It wasn't just over box jumps.
It was, dude, everything.
Tooth bri.
Yeah, I remember that. He also did like
Bri to tooth.
I watched it like
Nose manual bri flip on a
ago.
manual pad. You remember that one? Nose manual bri flip.
yeah.
That's so dumb.
I remember Jake Clark did one of those as well, I think.
He did like nose manual whip front scoot. Which I think would be potentially a little bit easier. I can't whip front scoot and I can bri, but I feel like the way that you would pop off your front wheel.
I agree to that. Because when you're in nose manual and you pull for the bri flip, you straight up have to hop, turn your bars, and pull the bri flip.
But then like the whip front scoot, it's kind of like
it just kind of goes.
You know, yeah. I feel like there's not
Both
a lot
are mad crazy.
There's not a lot of tricks besides from backflip that would be like harder out of nose manual than a bri. Can you imagine backflip?
Out of a nose manual? No, that's not possible. Okay, anything's possible, but that's on one of those way out of there.
That's in the 30 stair handrail in the rain.
We might see that one 20 years down the road.
But dude, I genuinely didn't think that like a brakeless Manny flip drop would be like possible.
No?
But Dylan did it in front of my
Dylan did it.
eyes.
This is what I think, because I love my back wheel manuals. You're really good at your front wheel. You're good at both, but you're really good at your front wheel.
Yeah, I prefer the front wheel.
I'm working on my front wheel right now.
Yeah?
I can nose manual, but I can't just sit in them like I do a manual. So this is my thing. A manual, no matter what trick you do, it's just like doing the same trick if you're in the right point of the manual.
That's so true, yeah.
You're doing the same sort of hop. So when I backflip drop, it's that, I'm leaving off my back wheel. So if you're in that right spot of the manual, it's like doing the trick.
It's like the exact same trick.
It's the exact same thing, but there's so many different variables because you could be too low, too high. It's
because
it's
I feel
death.
like
you see the fails of Dylan trying that trick.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Ate it, dude.
But it's like, you know how like when you're in a manual and you like go to a jump and you just don't jump at all, you get like anti-popped.
Yep.
Can you imagine going for that flip drop and that happening? Like,
just straight on your back or neck.
ugh,
No.
that would suck.
No.
You got so your edit. I'm expecting to see Manny flip drop.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You won't. That'd be so gnarly. I would like to do that though, for sure. If I lived in the UK, dude, if I had Adrenaline Alley as my local,
Would you try it there?
no doubt. There's no doubt.
It's still intimidating.
No, very. Dylan got me to try a flare flat, and that was that sucker, dude. He's like, if you try a flare flat, I'll try a back flat. This is Resi, Pennsylvania, and I was like, okay, and I'm just like so sketched out about it. I eventually sent it, landed like wheels and slid out. Not even that close. This fool does backflip flat first try.
Yep, I
right
remember.
in front of my face.
Was that in Cloud 9?
No.
No. That was in
Oh
Lot
my
8. It was in Lot 8, right?
Lot 8.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have a story of Cloud 9.
Tell me what you got.
When I was working, I was doing skate park watching, OPS, whatever you call it.
OSI.
OSI, that's what it is. And some kids are just chilling in the big old vert foam pit, just like chucking foam blocks up in the air. I didn't think nothing of
Hold on,
it.
I'm gonna cut you over. Did you know Ryan Sheckler is banned from Woodward because he hooked up with a girl inside of that foam pit?
Inside of that foam pit?
The one in the vert ramp. Supposedly.
Rumors.
But yeah, go on.
That's true. Dirty dog, why a foam pit?
No, that's legendary. At Woodward?
At Woodward.
I'm just kidding,
gosh.
Woodward. That is not legendary. I do not condone that action, Woodward.
Me either. Not a funny situation. Straight face.
Go on, sorry.
You're good. But anyways, yeah. And then like later, I'm just talking to these kids. Taught this kid how to flare that night, and then we're all just talking, hyped up, and talking just like this. And all of a sudden, at the corner of my eye, I see the light smoking, just fuming with smoke, black smoke. And I'm just like, yo, there's about to be a fire in here. Freaking, I'm like, kids, go, get out of the building. I freaking run down, call the phone. They're like, I'm like, what do I do? Like, there's a fire in Cloud 9. And I'm just like tripping out. They're like, turn off the lights. I was like, I already turned off the lights. Because that's what was on fire. One of those kids tossed a foam block up in the light.
No way.
Freaking dude.
So it had the potential of like burning it down.
Burning down Cloud 9.
Could you imagine?
I was known like for the rest of that week as
He'd be on the blacklist.
the person that saved Cloud 9. Literally every staff at Woodward was at Cloud 9. Everyone showed up. And I was like, hey, do you guys need help? Like, They're like, no, you're good. You're off shift.
You're just like,
Yeah.
you're like,
I'm going to ride.
You're like, yo, I totally know how to get off shift now if I'm ever an OSI.
Yeah, just toss the phone
be like,
block up in the
hey,
light.
yo, kids, can you go like play near the foam pit? Can you just play over there? All right. And then they're playing over there.
Dude.
I'm like,
They never caught the kids.
no?
Nope.
They don't have cameras in there. Do they have?
Well, no, they do. No, they
No,
don't.
for the, like, they have it for like it'll show you the trick that you did on the resi after you'd done a trick. But
that's it.
That's it. Do they even have security cameras at Woodward, like in those skate parks? I never thought about that before.
I don't know.
They for sure don't, because we would for sure have seen like fail footage. You know what I'm trying to say, of like
From like everything.
from just whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's then they don't.
Only located on like resis and foam and all that stuff. But yeah, that's my craziest Woodward story, other than it getting flooded out.
What do you
I
mean?
literally, it was straight up storm just came out of
At East?
nowhere at East.
So you were working there as an OSI?
Yeah, I was working there.
Did
Yeah.
Ernie get you the job?
Yep, Ernie
Yeah.
got me the job my first time coming down to Arizona for Havasu. I met Ernie, and I figured out that he was like the person for East. He's like, I'll get you in, do it. I was like, dude, I've been wanting to do it. So it worked. Let alone he didn't tell me like anything. I didn't bring a pillow, a sleeping bag.
Nothing.
Didn't know I was going to be in charge of 11 kids in a cabin and have a bedtime. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The first half week was straight hell.
I believe it.
After
man.
that, I got a hold of it. It was awesome. Got scooter instructor of the week. It was dope.
Damn.
Great time. I can't wait to go back. But this time, I'm going as guest pro.
Really?
Hopefully.
Good. You should.
Like,
That's
'cause
what Clayton and I always do.
I'm gonna be like, I'm not doing this no more. You guys should let me in as guest pro.
Dude, being a guest pro is great. It's like you get all the perks of being a staff, but you're just a camper.
But let me tell you, I love scooter instructing so much that I would like do scooter instructing.
Yeah, but you gotta wake up in the morning.
That's fine, man.
That's difficult
It's
for
all
me.
for the dude. Like
That's
okay,
really- that's
let
the
me
hardest
just tell
part of
you-
my day every
Let me
day.
just tell you. Imagine this: you're a young kid, you're at Woodward, and you're getting instructed by these people you don't even know. Or would you rather get instructed by Raymond Warner? Because Raymond's like hot right now. Okay.
Right.
You would
I
way
would want to
rather
get instructed by Raymond.
These kids would rather be instructed by you, by Clayton, by people they actually know,
Yeah,
actual pros.
true.
Whoa, don't give Woodward any ideas, okay, Seth? Like
That's how it used to be. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
no.
that's and for Woodward, if you're watching this, just make it to where like it's an option. Because I'd love to do it. If I go guest pro, I'd love to do instructing still.
I feel like there's some sort of way that Woodward could potentially organize something where like where they put the kids in like the guest pros like in they are able to orchestrate scenarios that would come up during the week where like they would just be forced to interact, but it wouldn't feel forced. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that would be really useful, and I think they try to do that. But
Right. Yeah, they pretty much just tell guest pros like
5 o'clock, high jump, be there.
yeah, just like if some main events for them to get the kids hyped and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, dude. Damn, Woodward is such an experience. It's crazy that it just like didn't really happen this year at all. You know what I mean?
I definitely was not doing it.
Yeah. No, but it's just crazy that like obviously coronavirus,
Yeah.
that would have not been a thing. But it's just wild for me to think that like it just didn't really happen this year. And I feel like that's such like an iconic thing with like how you see clips on Instagram, like
Right,
you see
in the summer.
You know what I'm trying to say? You
Yeah.
see so many Woodward clips during the summer.
Right. At least they were still like supporting, like they just supported Scoot Fest for the USA boys and stuff. So that was sick.
That's very true. That's very true.
We're still doing what they can with all the COVID stuff, but this whole COVID situation is so weird.
Tell me about the COVID situation. We were talking about scooters quite a bit, but like, tell me what your opinion on the COVID thing and how is it in Oregon, for example? I feel like living in Arizona, I might have a different opinion on it than you.
Yeah. People in Oregon are definitely more like, it's not people in like Arizona aren't tripping about it as much as
No, not
Oregon.
really.
Like there's some stores you don't even have to wear masks here.
Masks, I feel like
I'm over it. I'm to be honest with you, I don't really want to be wearing a mask no more.
Yeah, no, I feel like in Arizona it's like 5 to 10% of the places like just don't really care anymore. I don't think that they're legally supposed to do that, but like I think they just are, and I think the culture in Arizona is just kind of doing that. Do I personally want to stop wearing a mask every time I go into a store? Yes, but like I don't know. It's just
like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like,
but I also
you
like
have to wear them in restaurants, but as soon as you sit down, it's fine to take it off.
yeah, that's stupid. And
Tell me what?
Yeah, it's like I get that like there's people's lives at risk. You know what I mean? Like I understand that. You know, especially older people, especially
The sick, the already sick and wounded, definitely get it worse, and it is worse than the flu. It is not fun to deal with for sure, but it does not kill people.
Do you know what I think would
Really.
be would have been
the flu kills people.
Yeah, you know what I think would be.
So does COVID, but it's just not.
You know what I think would be like an interesting experiment. I have no idea how they would set this up or like monitor this, be a control But imagine if they could somehow compare like parallel universes. Imagine there's a parallel universe of the Earth and in both situations, COVID happened. In one scenario, they didn't tell anybody about the disease, but it still spread exactly how it happened. And the other situation is where we're at. And I almost think if they wouldn't have told anyone, like it would have potentially strengthened people's immune system because they wouldn't be scared. And I feel like when you're scared, that's probably the worst thing for your immune system. When
no
you're
doubt, especially when they lock you inside and you're not allowed to go
and then when you're cooped up and you're not leaving the germs that you're around all day, it's like yo, that's bad, you know. And then people start dying. You know what I mean? I just wonder if they literally didn't say anything about COVID, and whoever died from COVID was just like a flu death. And there's a lot of flu deaths every year. It's not like it's not like there's a little. And,
totally.
And it's like, I wonder if it just kind of would have been swept. And I wonder how much of it had to do with the current politics situation and a
lot of it.
I'm not going to try to say that I think this is all a conspiracy or nothing, but I feel like things are intertwined. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that it would be stupid to not think that things are intertwined. I just hope that we are able to get to the point in this earth where neighbors are able to trust each other again. And I feel like that might be just maybe a USA thing, but I feel like this COVID thing has really reinforced your friendships and your relationships online and unenforced your friendships in person. And I believe that you can only get so much of a friendship with anyone online versus a friendship that you would have in person.
100%.
And I feel like
this person to person is so much more. I could talk to you over FaceTime,
but I feel like we wouldn't have the same conversation, you know?
No.
And I just wonder, like, is this the best plan of attack for the situation? But it's like, once again, I mentioned earlier in the podcast, Clayton and I are just running in the dark. We don't know what we're doing. It's like, yo, those government officials are also just dudes running in the dark. They don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to take their best guess. And what I think is the most sad situation about all of this is I think genuinely on both sides, Democrat, Republican, both sides of no matter how you want to look at it, I believe everyone wants like people to like not die. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
It's just like, how do we get to that point? People have different opinions of how to get to that point. Everyone has the same end goal, but like the routes, people don't like other people's routes. And then that's where conflict happens. That's where shit happens. And I feel like all that shit gets so much worse because of the internet propelling it. It's like if we were able, I don't know, if America was able to have like a big like group meeting where there was no internet, it was just like Canada or not Canada's like
yeah, no, for real.
But it's like
because literally, I'd imagine because of COVID's going on, all government officials are meeting up through Zoom. FaceTime,
and what does that do? What does that do to certain things? You know,
like you can't. It's not that person to person. Like yes, you can tell their tone of voice and their facial expressions if it's not laggy. You know, but it's just like this is just so much more.
I believe that, and this is just a personal like little theory of mine, is I genuinely believe that words are vehicles for your energy. And what I mean by that is I believe that when you're talking to somebody, the actual words that you're hearing and saying to the other person are like 30% of the conversation. The other 70% of the conversation is the energy that you're giving back and forth that the people are communicating with each other. And I think that when you have a conversation in person, the energy is being traced back and forth between both of the people naturally, how it's always been, you know, how humans and hominids have always communicated. And there's this sense that might not be obvious to like scientists and stuff like that's being activated when you have a conversation. That's why like you get goosebumps when you have a good conversation. That's why you have like, that's why you get like amped up. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like there's some extra thing. And I think that words are vehicles for that thing to be passed through. So if we take it to FaceTime, it's like we would still be having the same conversation.
But then it's just words.
But no. Our facial reactions are there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But it still feels like it's a little bit cut off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then if we take that one step beyond that, it's like we just go to calling. It's like, and we're just talking on the phone. It's like then we take away the whole facial reaction side of that. Then the conversation turns a little bit less. And then if you go from there and you go to voice memos where you're just leaving voice memos to each other, like sure that's a little bit more than texting because you can understand the person's tone of voice, but you're then missing out on the context of the energy. Like if you have a conversation in person, it's like you build the person up to what they up to a certain energy level. But when you leave voice memos, it's like whatever the person's energy they're feeling at that moment and they talk to that message, that's what you're getting. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And then you go one step beyond that and you go to texting and it's like
way bad.
It's
way bad.
And it's just those vehicles.
Just words. You can't.
And you know what I'm trying to say? And it's so interesting how communication works. Yeah. And it's like, sure, we're becoming like more connected in this world, but it's like, are we becoming more connected?
Online.
But like, are we more connected?
No.
It's just it's interesting.
Online,
right?
Yes. In person, no.
Yeah. But like, what matters? You know what I'm trying to say? Because I feel like if conversations go to a point where they're pretty much only spoken online, I think that there's a huge part of humanity that people would be missing out on. And then you're just not really that connected.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fascinating.
Very interesting.
Sorry, that was a little bit of a rant.
No, it's good. It's good. I am with it 100% on, person to person. It's just so much more. Mm-hmm. And this whole COVID situation is just separating that, making people scared to be this close and actually talk to someone. Yeah. Like, I'm a healthy individual. Whether I get COVID or not,
it's the greatest
I'm going to live
you could have.
Straight on through it.
Yep.
I'm just living my life, dude.
Do you know what?
I try and stay out of politics as well, but I do have my 2 cents on what
everyone
I
does,
agree and what I feel with. Yeah. But I just try and stay away from that. Just have a good time and let my dreams and ambitions guide me.
Facts, dude. For real. You know what? One of my favorite things about scootering is, and it's probably my favorite thing about scootering is the community.
Mine too.
I think overall it's like, yes, I enjoy doing a bar spin. Yes, I enjoy doing a tail up, but you know what I really, really enjoy? Meeting cool people in the scooter industry. Yep. You know what I'm trying to say? It's yes. So it's like, that's really cool to me. And I feel like one reason I like scooter riders so much is because when I talk to them, I feel like that connection, that energy connection, I feel like is so prevalent amongst scooter riders because as scooter riders, we're basically this industry of people who are actively participating in an activity that's not necessarily seen as a cool thing, right? So it's like you have a whole group of people who are younger, who are more susceptible to be pushed around by people's opinions. When you have those people openly just being like, yo, I don't care what people think about me for riding a scooter. I love it. I'm going to go out of my way to scooter. I'm going to spend my money on scootering. I'm going to do everything scootering. It's like when you get a group of those people together, there's really no barriers. There's really like
Street jams.
It's so raw, dude. It's like such raw humanity. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, dude.
It's so cool, man.
I'm telling you. Yes, I agree with you. My favorite thing about scootering, the community, meet new people, the hype,
The rawness.
the rawness.
Yeah.
It's events. Events is what brings people together, and that's why events are my favorite. Competition, street jams. It's not necessarily because I'm competing in this competition, or I could win some money from this competition. It's I get to see all the homies again.
Yeah.
From all over, you know.
Yeah. No, I think that's the reason everyone goes to contests, right?
See your homies.
It's like a
and
family
vibe
reunion.
with- yeah, exactly.
It
Scooter
literally
family
is.
reunion.
It literally is. It's like, yeah, no, I think, yeah, no, I
a great
love
way to put
that.
it.
I love that about scootering, man. And you know what's so funny is like, I feel like if you ask a skateboarder about the skateboarding industry or a biker about the bike industry, or actually, I don't want to say the word industry. I want to use the word community. If you talk about the skate community, I'm sure they would all say the same thing.
Yeah, it's
And that's the
I
reason
agree.
skateboarders like skateboarding. Like the reason skateboarders like skateboarders is because they have that same sort of connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if action sports was able to see each other eye to eye on that raw human level, dude, can you imagine how many things action sports could do as like a
dude.
whole?
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Some skater did a trick today earlier at Tempe,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, that was so sick. He's like, thanks, man. That's how it should be.
No, it should be. Yeah.
You know, like I think everything is sick. I said this earlier. Everything. I'm talking unicycles. I'm talking rollerblading.
Pogo
I'm talking
sticks.
Pogo sticks. You can do some sick stuff. Dude, it's sick. It's just sick to me, man.
It is.
This is what I say. I don't care what you're riding, as long as you're riding and
Or
having
bouncing.
fun. That's it. Or bouncing if you're on a pogo stick. You know, that's what it's all about. It's all about having fun,
For real, dude.
getting together and seeing the homies.
Seeing the homies, dude. Dude, I don't think you could have said it any better. I feel like that's the wonderful, beautiful thing about especially the scooter community. Is just like how just open it is, you know, like how
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Like scootering is nothing like politics. Nothing. Okay. I hate how there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world right now. But what's so cool about the scooter community is that no one's racist. You ride a scooter to ride a scooter.
You literally ride
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're a human being. I don't care what you like what you're doing. We have something in common.
Yeah.
You know, you are a human being.
Yeah, no, like that's such a good
I don't
point.
see you any other way different. You're a human being. You're a human being.
We don't know what
Dude.
we're doing on this planet, but
Dude,
we're here.
We're here and we're all people, you know? And that's one thing that absolutely blows my mind away is that people cannot understand that we are all people.
Yeah.
And to me, in my eyes, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But to everyone else, they're still stuck on their
It's crazy. It's just
their thoughts.
it's just ego when you really break it down. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
ego and insecurities,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ignorance, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that it's way more prevalent in other little niches than scootering. You know what I mean? I think that scootering, pretty much all scooter riders are open-minded. I can't remember the last time I met a scooter rider that wasn't like open-minded and cool.
Right.
For the-
I know. I mean, I definitely have ran into some
Yeah.
people because they're people.
Yeah,
Not everyone's
there's every
perfect.
there's every type of person in the scooter community.
Same with skating,
Mm-hmm.
same with BMXing, like pretty much every action sport, you know? It's just, man, I hope people just get over the fact that it's get over their superstitions.
Facts, dude. Well, Seth, I think that is a good place to wrap it up. I've really enjoyed having you on the
Dude.
podcast today, and I feel like we had some really good
Yeah.
conversations.
Thanks for having me on here, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. This is Seth. Tell them your Instagram really quick.
My Instagram is my first and last name with an underscore in the middle, Seth Laughlin, and you spell Laughlin like laugh, L-I-N.
Nice. Well, we have a ride day at AZ Grind on December 5th, as well as our drop on the same day at noon. So make sure to go to undialed.co and check that out. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we will catch you in the next episode. Peace out.